Hey, everybody, where there's a will, there's a way. We're here. I am here with Oakland District 7 candidate Merika Goolsby. And as I said when we first start out, that name brings back great memories of Skyline High School and Bret Hart Junior High. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent to hear you, or for you to hear me. How's that? Right? Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
so how did you tell us about Merika Goolsby?
Okay. Merika Goolsby. Born and raised in San Francisco, so I'm a Bay Area native. I grew up in the foster care system. I was eventually adopted by a Baptist minister and his wife. He was born in 1923. She was born in 1927. I've lived in the East Bay as an adult all of my adult life. I've lived in specifically District 7 on and off since 19. And next month I'll be 50, so I have a lot of lived experience with District 7. I did all the right things. I was told to go to college, get a degree, get a career going, and the message I was out there to myself and my peers is to follow the steps and get out of the ghetto and you'll have life. So I did all those things. But then as an adult, where I live now in this I've lived here for 10 years, and it just began to dawn on me, everybody follows the formula. Who is going to stay and fight? Who is going to stay and demand respect and just humanity that District 7 deserves? And after my experience with my housing situation, I decided that it was me. So where I live now past 10 years, this home was owned by a corporate landlord. And I was almost displaced because of rapid rising rent. And it just so happened that a door knocker was in an area from ACE, which is Alliance California Community Empowerment. They happened to knock on my door and ask me about my living situation. Are you a homeowner? Are you a renter? How's your relationship with the landlord? And at that point, I was completely stressed out, working as many hours as I could possibly work, and could not afford an increase of $50. And the landlord was not they said, well, maybe this is a place for you, maybe you should downsize. There was no negotiating. But thanks to joining ACE, having the group basically protest on my behalf, I was able to stay in my housing. And my money was eventually purchased by the Oakland Community Land Trust. And now I have an opportunity to purchase. Thank you. Yeah. It is a big deal. The Oakland Community Land Trust buying property from the speculators to keep it in hands. So ever since I've definitely been a champion for renters' rights and justice. And recently I joined CDE Community Environment to tackle the air pollution specifically that's happening in the 7, and which companies are just pumping the pollution out. We have a higher rate of lung disease, cancer, emphysema, COPD, kids with red bleed, and this is so these two are my passions for. Currently I'm on the state board for ACE, and I'm also alternate for RAP, which is our adjustment program in Oakland.
So, how has District 7 changed over the time you lived in?
Since I've lived here, has gone through the rent moratorium, that being abolished basically, and homelessness shot up rapidly. Crime survival shot up rapidly. Basically, the divided is even more divided between the haves and the have-nots. Yeah.
Wow. When did that divide start from your anecdotal experience?
That divide started with the pandemic, the moratorium, because everyone had an opinion about should the moratorium even exist.
Right. Remember that. It got worse. So, what was the aha moment you just said, I'm tired of this. I'm going to run for District 7 City Council?
Honestly, like I said, when I first moved here 10 years ago, our city council was Larry Reed, and I had questions about what was going on in the district then, and I started asking questions and going to community meetings. And they said, our city council is supposed to do this or that or the other thing. And when that seemed available, I wanted to go in. But I didn't have the time or know-how about it.
Well, you were mad at Larry? You were mad at Larry?
Well, I just thought, what is going on? And his daughter ended up getting my seat.
Treva, huh?
Yes, Treva. So then the opportunity came up again. I thought, this is my time. Because it's only a continuation of the work that started as far as housing justice and air pollution. So the way I see it, I've been an active, involved community member and running for office is just the next step.
Hey, did you know Treva, by the way? Did you get to know her?
I knew her, but I don't think I really got to know her really in depth.
Yeah. So, what, dumb question, but not really. What to you are the main problems facing the residents of District 7?
I think the main problem in fixing residents is the lack of humanity that exists in District 7.
Whoa! That was a left field one. I am dying to hear you expound on that. Thank you. It's not the normal answer. Thank you.
I'm sure. The way that I see it is that the moment that we allow corporate landlords to come in and buy homes in bulk, homes in bulk, and rapidly raise the rents, throw people out into the streets before people that are already living paycheck. Before they can get a moving truck, before they can find another place, before they can pay for storage to have their stuff moved in. You got landlords keeping things on the curb because they want to get the next thing like the amount that person is paying or sell to the highest bidder. I think humanity is thrown out the window in there. Because I know that we facing an increase of $150, and I'm thinking like maybe you should look for something else. Maybe you should downsize. Maybe you should get a studio. Maybe you should rent a room. I really felt like nobody cared. But I was already working an 18-hour day, and to go from paying $2,200 a month and then to talk on another $350 was going to put me in the streets.
Yeah,
it's devastating. And you really feel like nobody cares about me. And I can see how some people will feel that. They go, well, I don't care about anybody. Nobody cares about me. I care about you. And especially my neighbors that are crying out saying, my car was stolen. My home was broken into. I was robbed at gunpoint. And they want the world to be up in arms and to hire more police and arrest everybody. Sends a clear message that property is more important than my life. And I think we put profit over people. things are just going to go rapidly because people have to know that there's some care and concern more than property. And that's what we're seeing the results of.
Do you think this incivility is also a factor in the crime rate? In other words, when people don't care about you, they're more likely to just, shoot you.
Well, I think as far as fatal violence, I think that goes along with people being desperate and nothing to lose. And that's what I try to tell folks we need to increase police force. If people knew that they would go for a very long time, they wouldn't do certain things. But the truth is, I have absolutely nothing to lose. Of course, I'm going to but now my life is on the line, so I'm going to defend myself in that way. People dealing with a high that have nothing to lose. It doesn't make them do it. It makes them try to smarter ways to live with it. And I keep begging people, can we please make people not that desperate? Can we please focus on housing and employment so people are not desperate for survival, that robbery seems like a better option. Or in a lot of cases, the only option.
Let me try this another way. How are you going to, what's your plan to have that happen? And how are you going to convince your council members to go along with your plan?
My plan
council member colleagues,
Yes. My plan to have to connect with organizations that are already doing work. Because there's a lot of different organizations kind of silos to support the community. They need to be able to do what they do. I feel like bringing and making more like pro. Say this is how we make our community the time, the energy, so they can continue their work. Working on house and employed is the only way to do it. Because we have to put the people first. We have to put the people first. We can't put all these other first and then think, okay, we're going to just everybody else and then everything's wonderful. It's not. And the way to get my council members on board is to show results. We've already seen that there's a reduction in murders this year. Now we want to reduction in property crime this year. But the only way we see that is when we see more people being employed.
So you don't believe that we need more cops on the street, or am I wrong?
You are absolutely. I don't believe that we want more cops on the street because all that is in the police and who is smarter than what. That's not going to be good. These people need jobs to take care of themselves. And like I said, I don't know anyone who has secure housing and a secure job that says, you know what, I could go to work, or I could go rob somebody, There's no one expensive. And those people that homeless populations, the people who want to work, or they just want to live a party lifestyle for that. And they just want to get by and help. This is not true. The people desperate survival that feel like they have tried everything and gotten nowhere. I feel like we change that narrative to see that actually most of the homeless population is families. We got kids in school out of cars, and how can you learn anything when you have no stability?
Why don't we see what we're talking about, you and I, as the crisis that it truly is? What's going on that we don't seem to care to really solve the problem by, for example, giving people money when they need it to get their housing, rather than saying, well, one day in the future we will build affordable housing, right? And that person doesn't have the future, they have the present, and they need the housing now. So
Right.
I'm thinking, why don't we give people money
Right.
and then find them spaces to live in and then get them there?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that am I missing something here?
Well, I think what's missing is that, unfortunately, in a capitalistic society that is all about me, all about mine, and people really feel like I'm successful because of my own actions and don't give credit to all of the support that they have received. They feel like, well, what's this person? You know, I hear that all the time. Oh, I was poor, and I didn't go to crime. And it's like, because you have no idea what this level of desperation is about. You've had some level of that this person is not getting. And like I said, we can shift the narrative, which is real work, and getting people to connect with their humanity and see, you know, if you really want things to be different, help me not have people be desperate without judgment and what's wrong with you? I got mine, but it's yours.
Well, help me here, because I'm a capitalist, but I'm not unabashed. I'm a classic institutional economist who was taught something I believe is true, that government exists to correct market imperfections. And I can't think of a better example of market imperfection than homelessness, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, because your description made it sound like government didn't exist, right? So I'm going to ask it again, but I'll ask it a different way. Why does it seem the government doesn't care? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the government cares about one group over another, right? And systemic racism is at the root of it, and so is classism. But the only way to run that process, again, is by connecting with our humanity and creating stability.
So how do you change a city that has done the way we've done it in IR too long? I'm not a fan of protesting. Do you sue the city for not doing its job? Because economic development is actually in the charter as the mayor's job. That's the mayor's job. I could sue the mayor today on the basis of the observation and data proving she hasn't done the job in terms of economic development. Okay? So, is that what you're going to do?
No. It wasn't my intent to the mayor. It was my intent to get people to look at it in a different lens than what they have. Because that was created from a certain lens.
Yes, ma'am.
And even the solutions are created from a certain lens.
Yes, ma'am.
So I feel that we get people to look at this from a more humanistic approach.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then the charter will be created in a way that actually creates change.
Yes, ma'am. That makes a lot of sense. So, aside from, and let's move away from that gigantic, wavy, worldly conversation, and let's drill down to other city aspects. What's the first? I mean, you said it in a sense, but I'm gonna try it another way. What kind of people are going to work for you in your city council office? If you said, hey, look, I'm hiring right now, you're one. What kind of person do you want to be your aides?
Well, I would definitely recommend if folks would be local, from the area and understand and know and they've lived it. People that are hardworking, people that are trainable, people that share their vision. That's good.
And okay, now we get to some topics that are on the minds of people. What do you think, since the District 7 council member historically has been responsible for overseeing the Coliseum? So now we have a situation where the African American Sports Entertainment Group owns the Coliseum grounds. What are your thoughts on what AASCG is charged to do in terms of building Coliseum City and how the whole agreement came about? It's a very open-ended question.
Yeah. Well, how the whole agreement came about is that there wasn't enough involvement to say how what is the goal here? Now, I feel like most people didn't even know about it until the sale was almost over. So there's the issue of how community is proud to and invited to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I think number one was a flaw. I think a lot of people give feedback that the Coliseum leased instead of sold, so we could have an ongoing revenue coming in. And that was ignored. As far as I know, flushed out on how this could be a possibility.
Say that one more time, please.
I said there was that the Coliseum should be leased instead of sold.
Okay. What's the advantage of leasing it over selling it?
The advantage of leasing it would be ongoing revenue instead of a one-time sale.
But wait a minute. If we're selling it to a private entity, right? Okay. So if we're selling it to a private entity, and that private entity has to pay property taxes on what they own, isn't that also an annual revenue stream?
Yes.
Okay, and then let's go a step further. All right. If you and I own the Coliseum, let's say that we're in Ray Bobbitt's position, right? In his colleagues, right? We have grounds that we may want to sell, and we should, to other developers so that we can gain developer partners. That's additional revenue for us, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's take it a step further. When we turn over the land, the city gets something called a real estate transfer tax revenue, right?
Right.
So when you start looking at it, why isn't it better to do what they've done, which is really the plan for decades, which is to sell it, because we get a constant revenue stream in terms of property tax revenue, and then we get the stream from resales of the land. Oh, and then by the way, we're developing the land, and so we develop the land, and guess what happens? Instead of a fixed lease, we're getting more property tax revenue, or at least the city is, right? So isn't that better?
Possibly, but like I said, I didn't hear the conversation where those numbers were here.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Coliseum City. I mean, in fairness, because I've lived with Coliseum City since. Let's see. I was intern working on something called the Coliseum Redevelopment Area. Blah blah blah. I've lived with the idea of Coliseum City since 2004.
Okay.
And the idea of Coliseum City for yourself and for others who are watching or will be watching was when you went to an A's game, there was nothing to do outside, right? If the gate was closed, you were stuck. Now, hey, maybe you had sandwiches in your car, or maybe you had a grill, or that sort of thing, right? But there was no place to go inside, no place to go around on the grounds. You had to go off grounds someplace else.
Right.
Frank Dobson, Steve Lowe, and Bob Lesty. Frank Dobson and Bob Lesty are passed away. Steve Lowe now lives in Petaluma. Had this idea for basically what turned out to be real estate around it on the grounds. Then Larry Reed and Ron Dellums took their idea and said, "Hey, let's build Coliseum City." And that was in 2009.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that gave way to would-be developers like Floyd Kephart, or before him, the Prince of Dubai. Even though Mayor Kwan got that screwed up, being tabbed as the people who are going to build this. And then the NFL wanted to buy the land to build it themselves for a nominal price, as Eric Gutman said. So my point is, where we are today has a long history. It was always to sell the land.
I see.
Yeah, that's why. And what happened was between then, and now,
Yeah.
because the way media is today, that never got communicated. Unless, of course, you watch my channel on a regular basis.
Now I do.
Thank you. So that's where that came from, So
Okay.
So knowing all that now, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I still would like to see those numbers. Compare and contrast.
Yeah. Because also Ray Bobbitt, if he were sitting next to me, would say, we met with 150 people in the community to get to a point where their council, approval, right? So he would say that. Now, it doesn't mean they stop meeting, right? So I think, given the kind of head you are, you may want to have those meetings and say, "Hey, look, I want to know where you're at," right?
Exactly.
Right, cool. Okay, and I'll shut up and I'll stop feeding answers to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I would want to listen with them to see what are the plans. How is this going to benefit the specific? Like I said, we need direct pipelines for our people's employment, rather than the training or not. We need our people working.
What do you think on that basis of what economic development has done to create jobs? Our economic development department, workforce development. What are your thoughts about their work?
I mean, from what I like I said, considering so many people unemployed or underemployed, there's a lot more needs to happen in that department. A lot of people when they're initially made homeless are working. Just not making enough money to pay. And that's a hard job that happens when you're on the streets. So we need to work and making enough money to afford to take care of themselves. And that's something that we definitely put more time, more energy into making sure that happens.
Now,
I think they're failing. Honestly.
What about the other aspects of the budget of the city? How, if you were a council member, what kind of budget changes would you have called for? I'll leave that open-ended.
Yeah, I would a council person, and I would definitely see community involvement as far as finding out what is the community actually using versus not, and make cuts according to that. Like the fact that the budget they blow through it every year is ridiculous. That needs to be cut, and we need to put money into community policing instead of our traditional ways of policing. Like I said earlier, more money into community programs that are doing the work for community, and really seeing how many people are being being served, and what are their outcomes. It's just that simple.
Okay, so switching from that to this whole matter of the city itself, what do you think about the recall?
I'm definitely against the recall. I think we need to relax and let democracy play out. If you elect someone and you feel like they're not doing a good job, elect someone else when their term is up. But at least give it the chance to work with their full term. There should be constant community involvement to feedback, to say, I don't approve of the way you did this or the other thing. And when your term is up, you vote it out. But when I see kind of a knee-jerk reaction and the type of energy behind these recalls, I feel like it's emotionally motivated. There's something more to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people need to calm down and let democracy play out.
As one who's for the recall, let me ask you. First, I respect your opinion. But second, I want to know, what do you do in that desperate? First of all, our city charter allows for recall.
Yeah.
I mean, so why have a law there that we don't use? Why not? Why not have an escape hatch? Because my issues with Mayor Tao are both professional, but personal to the way she's treated me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For example, asking me to have a private meeting on enhanced infrastructure financing district and tax increment financing, then giving me homework to do, but not wanting to pay me, and then saying I have a consultant. And I'm thinking, okay, well, are you doing this because what? And then she said, also on top of that, she didn't want anybody to know that we met on Zoom. And then on top of that, she proceeded to ignore every interview request I asked. So I thought on the fourth go of that, I said, hey, you're going to treat me like that? Guess what? I'm going to let everybody know we met. And I'm going to keep talking about it because that was wrong. And then there's the way she treated Leona Powell, who was her aide, when she was council member. That filtered into her Shang's time as mayor. She violated Leona's civil rights. Leona, by law, does not have to work for her if she's running for mayor, if she's in council. You can't force her. Shang was trying to force her to do that. And there were progressive people out there, including media, that were very angry and also insulting and harassing of Leona because she brought her story to me and not a progressive publication. And we have a video that was almost 2 hours long. And then Shang managed to get in under the wire. She turned her paperwork in late to file for mayor, but the city clerk's office managed to, I allege, and I'm not the only one, make changes to let her in anyway. You don't do that. All right? So I can go on and on and on and on and on. And then she gets in, and before that, when she was sworn in, just before she was sworn in, it was dropped in my lap as the exclusive that she was crafting a way to fire Lamone Armstrong. A hit job. Because she didn't want it to look like she was going to fire a popular black police chief. Yeah. And I was told she wanted an Asian police chief initially. Okay. So, and then the coup de grace for me and a number of people was when she tried to get a $75,000 raise in the middle of a budget deficit. And I don't care that she didn't get it. She tried to get it. Okay. So how far do you go? And having been in Oakland as long as I have, I said, you know what? When the idea came up, I said, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, initially I wasn't on board with it readily. It took me a while to think about it, I'll have to say. But she didn't get better. See, Shang doesn't understand that when you run the city, you're putting on an iron person suit, or an iron woman suit in her case. Okay? And so it's always about the suit and how the suit can be used to help people. It's not about you, the mayor, what you think, how you were hurt, all that stuff.
Right.
Oakland has never successfully done well. That's a double. Uh, under politicians who always practiced the art of personal politics. And our city was originally designed. We had a council manager form of government. That was difficult. But now under this system, it's too easy because you have the CAO, the chief administrative officer. You can fire that person at will, and you should not have your top administrative officer an at will hire because it says to everybody under it, "Hey, look, I've got as much time here as you are politically viable for the mayor. But then I got to start looking for a job," which means, hey, look, no long-term planning for water reasons, for economic development, for anything, okay? Budgets, it goes out the window because people are looking to jump ship. That's what we have today. Instability. And then ranked choice voting makes it worse, all right? So my point is we're not headed the wrong way. And this is, as far as I look at it, is an escape hatch. That's how I see it. Yeah. Makes sense. I don't like doing it. I don't like thinking. I don't like talking this way about Shane because we were friends.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get rid of recall as an option. But I we need to be clear on when we go to that option.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am. No, and that's why 100%. Get it, 100%. You know, I just thought it was a great discussion. So when we get through this, we also have the matter of ranked choice voting. What are your thoughts on the measure there?
Everything that I've studied about it, you know, some people say it's great, some people say it's horrible. Personally, I don't think we had enough rounds of ranked choice voting either way. Some people think it's horrible because they say, "Oh, that's how there we have ranked choice voting," and she wasn't a lot of people choice. And then some people say it's great because just pick one. You know, if there's more than one person, I'd be happy with this one. I'd also be happy with this. You can order it. You know, so put it in order how much you like it. I think to really have an accurate what am I trying to say? Have an accurate assessment. We need a few more rounds of it.
And what is your position on the idea that we need larger companies to invest in Oakland? I guess this is a chamber question. I guess as opposed to just helping small businesses, although I would argue we haven't done that either. But do we need to bring in large corporations to bring Oakland back? I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I didn't know what you thought.
Yeah, I think it's not one or the other, both. We need both.
I agree completely.
We need to bring in large companies. We also need to support our small businesses as well.
Yeah. And how would you like to see that done? I mean, tax abatements in terms of attracting them. How do you want to bring in business?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the number one priority is to make Oakland stable and safe, because a lot of companies don't come here because they bought into doing how unsafe it is, and then you look into what is needed to attract companies here. And if that's tax cuts or more support as far as security, or these are conversations that need to happen. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, why don't I turn your phone down a little bit there? I think that's better. Okay, stuff happens. What kind of person, as council member, is District 7 getting?
You mean if me?
Yeah, if it's you. Yeah.
With me, they're getting, if I'm chosen, they'll get someone who is hardworking, a fighter that has skin in the game, who actually loves this district, who wants to see us improve, someone who's willing to put in the time and put people first, finally.
All right. How do they find you on website?
They can go to my website at Goolsby, GOOLSBOY, the number 4, D7.com.
Make sure I got that right. Got it right?
That's it.
Yeah, I got it right. Yahtzee!
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Excuse me. All right. Any closing messages you want to share with people who are watching? Oh, let me ask you before I do that. Sports. How do we get sports back? I mean pro sports. I mean Major League Baseball, NFL, NHL, NBA. You know, I mean, the Warriors are over there, okay? I want an NBA team over here, you know? What's up?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it all starts being stable. While right now, while we're unsafe, so many people are on housing, people on working, and so many people are angry and living. It's going to be hard to track anything.
But see, here's where I push back on you, okay?
Okay.
Every city has its pathologies. I worked in some fashion for the city of Oakland, either as an intern starting 85, or consultant, or a mayor's aide, or a newspaper columnist with the Montclarian, or a new media personality today and media entrepreneur. And I can tell you, over that time, all right, every city in the world has pathologies. But Oakland gets hung up on its pathologies and says, we're not going to do any of this stuff because we have these problems. When are we going to get over the idea that we have to ignore building a city, right, to get rid of our problems? My point is, hey, you go after sports, that's a business. It produces jobs. It makes people happy. It brings people together. I mean, when was the last time we were together watching anything in a stadium where our team was in the playoffs? You say the Ballers, right? Okay, but that was small. I'm just being honest. It wasn't Major League Baseball. It wasn't the NFL. It wasn't me, bringing the Super Bowl here and having Jerry not try to stab me in the back, which he tried to do. That was 2000. All right. I'm the only person in NFL history to have formed a bid to try to bring the Super Bowl to Oakland. And through that, Jerry Brown tried to make life rough for me. And it wasn't the reason I have a media corporation to never stop talking about it. All right. That's one of a number of them. But my point is, when are we going to get off this idea that we have the problems, that San Francisco's better? Because Jerry once told a group of business people, hey, why are you here? All the hotels are in San Francisco. They're from China. I'm not kidding. So, this goes back a long way in our history. Why can't we muster up the energy to believe in ourselves? And right? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I really don't think we need to. I think these things need to happen simultaneously. I don't think we need to put one on hold for the other. But I do feel like most people focus on protecting the sport while ignoring the fact that people need to be housed and employed. So I think it's a simultaneous movement, not one or the other.
Well said. All right, I'm gonna let you off the hook.
Okay.
You have to come back. That was a lot of fun to talk to you.
All right.
We gotta get that microphone situation down, huh?
Yes. We will figure it out.
You got it. All right. Hey, stick around in the background. Hey, folks, stick around. I've also got a blockbuster interview. It's going to happen in a few minutes, involving the report that Lynn Raphael, who's running for District 1, some cretin of a person decided that they were going to knock over his campaign table at Rockridge. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes, in a way. All right. Folks, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. Check out my friend's website. And make sure to vote. And bookmark.
Definitely vote.
Absolutely. And bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com and ZennyReport.com. That ends this broadcast stream. See ya.
All right.